Leo, there is a wild transformation happening for you right now, although it might not feel that way. It might feel a little bit quiet, reflective. In fact, when I was meditating on your energy, I wasn't getting very much. The numbers 343 could mean something to someone. And what I got is silence, pause, and hibernation. But as I sat with the energy some more, some other things came through, but it feels like this silence, this pause, this hibernation is needing its own space. Like, look how much space of the page it's taking up. And so things could be busy for you and moving and new things coming in and all of that, but there's something in your energy that Spirit's alerting me to that needs a little bit of time. And that's because you're becoming someone new. You're letting go of an old self. Okay, there's a new experience that's blossoming for you. And I also got that a lost memory comes back, but it comes back so that you can let it go. It feels like maybe this is something subconscious that you've been holding on to, and maybe it's been creating some friction or some nervousness or some feeling of not knowing where you're going next. And it's like, once you remember this thing, whether it's a positive experience or a negative one, I'm not sure. But once you remember it, you can let it go finally. And you blossom and you become someone entirely new. An old you is shedding. And it's exciting. The rune that came through for you is Birkenau, which speaks about becoming, fertility, growth, blossoming. And so that's beautiful for you to have that with this energy of silence, pause, and hibernation, because this isn't a time of grief or a time of stagnancy. It's a time of self-protection and allowing yourself that beautiful, big kind of incubator to grow into whoever you want to become. Okay, so something significant is happening. It's underway. I feel like words don't do it justice, the transformation that I'm feeling for you. Okay, and we're always transforming and we're always changing, but this is different. This is like an inventory you're taking of your life, of your experiences, of the people that you've met. And there's something here where you're realizing, I'm seeing someone take a pin out of something. It's like, yeah, you take a pin out of something and it allows a part of you to shed that no longer allows you to experience the life that you want to live. Okay, so I'm going to look further in. I didn't get any other cards out except we have these little bags that I made during the lunar eclipse full moon. And so I put tarot cards in here and charms, and I haven't seen what's in them. So we'll open this little bag together and see what the message is. And I have to say, this is my favorite bag out of all the signs. I had different bags for each sign, and this one, I don't know, there's something about this velvety texture and the sun imagery here. It feels like something you've kept quiet within you for a long time is now coming to the surface for all to see. Some of you are going to excel in a project, a creative project, an artistic project. Some of you are going to change an industry. Okay, that's interesting. Others of you are going to be seen in a different way by somebody. They're going to look at you and see something else. And I'm seeing like a shimmer go across your face. And it's because you're allowing this new self to come through, to blossom. And it's apparent to others. Others can see this about you. So let's see what's in this bag. And then we'll pull out some other cards. First card, healing. Oh, that's so beautiful. Yes. Okay, becoming, healing. Long-term healing. Amazing. Yes. Okay, so this relates to that memory that's coming back for you so that you can let it go, because it has been with you for a long time. This could be something difficult that happened to you and it's been attached to a certain feeling and emotion that just comes up every now and then. You don't know why. Or a certain negative voice in your head that tells you can't do something or you don't deserve something. And now it's like you are able to attach that feeling and that thought form back to where it originated, the original memory. Yes, you're able to make that link, and it allows you to heal that part of yourself and let it go. Amazing. Long-term healing for Leo. What else do we have? Oh, we got a few. I guess I put some extras for you. coagulation, the Philosopher's Stone. It says elixir of life on here. So transmutation. This is part of healing. Things coming together, coagulation, right? It's like that link you're making. Okay, and then the Eight of Wands, communication, fast-moving energy, feeling a zest for life, okay, especially after this period of silence, pause, and hibernation. We have obsession and bad influence. Ooh, okay, so I feel like this is what you're shedding. Something that has kept coming up over and over and over in your mind. Maybe it feels obsessive to you, or maybe it's just something you've been ruminating on, or someone around you has been obsessing, but it hasn't really been influencing you in a way that benefits you. You know, there's turmoil here that you've been, up until this moment, unable to really fully release because you weren't able to make that important, crucial link, but now you are. Now you are. Okay, so that's what you're healing. Some long-term bad influence that has created some kind of obsessive energy, or just like reoccurring cycles of something. Okay, let's see. Some of you are also letting go of somebody who has had an obsession with you, okay? Maybe you're doing something for yourself, I'm hearing. Okay, so we have 3 waves in a heart. There could be 3 important cycles, or 3 important people, or 3 important occurrences. We have the letter R twice, this moonstone, the letter K, the letter G, infinity sign, a Christmas tree, okay, maybe something important about December, or there's a different understanding of your own faith in some way. We have a starfish. This to me signals intuition and sensitivity, and a paw print. Oh, that's cute. So I feel like if you have a special fur friend, they're with you. And they are connected to you. I feel, you know, even with the starfish, like psychically, they're very attuned to your emotions, whether they're here or whether they've passed. You know, this is a special kind of unseen, untouchable connection. Okay? Animals tend to hold a lot of energy. So for some of you, when you release this feeling, you may even see something change and shift in your pet. Okay, for those of you who have a very close pet and it's almost like you're familiar in some ways, maybe you want to talk to them and tell them it's okay to release some energy. I know it seems weird, but that's what I'm getting. I kind of wish I worked with animals more in some way. Tarot for cats. Okay, let's get in. Well, I am doing tarot for cats right now with you, Leo. Okay, let's get in a little bit further for you. Let's see. What is the theme of this reading? What else needs to be said, Spirit, for Leo and their long-term healing? I'm hearing something about a prize. There's a prize. And a surprise. A prize and a surprise. Theme of the reading for Leos. What do they need to know for their highest good, Spirit? Reclaim the mundane, mindfulness, and then we have beware of the thought police with autonomy, and find your truth, inner guidance. Some of you are really shutting out and shutting down external voices that have been in your head or trying to get in your head when it comes to how you feel about the day-to-day. The mundane, see, that's where the silence and pause and hibernation is coming in. There's something about the mundane, like your everyday routine, things that you don't normally pay much attention to or give significance to, or maybe that you even feel are a chore or dragging you down. There's something about that that's shifting in your perspective. It's like the mundane experience is being infused with signs, synchronicities. Something special is happening there with this Eight of Wands too. Now, I am seeing this TV here with the thought police. So, obsession and bad influence. Some of you are moving away from constant propaganda, okay? Or people's opinions. And maybe it's becoming a wreck. I'm hearing a wreck on your energy. You're constantly listening to all the woes of the world, which are important to know about and important to invest in ways that we feel were useful, okay? However, I'm seeing with these cards that you could be spending a lot of your spare time tuning into things that are not a good influence on you, and it's becoming an addiction or an obsession. That's for some of you. You know, a lot of what we listen to in the media, especially today, is designed to be very hyperbolic, very addictive, very dramatic, and also designed to propagate this feeling of helplessness and hopelessness and fear. Okay, so you could be realizing that and saying, you know what, I'm moving away from that in order to focus on my healing. Silence, pause, hibernation. So maybe some of you need to hit pause on something that's constantly coming in your field. You need a new experience. Okay, let me see what else is in here. You're definitely finding your truth. Like a deeper layer of your truth. Yeah, and that thought form or that emotion that's been stuck in the subconscious, you're now understanding. You're understanding how it's kind of painted your day-to-day. You know, Leo, you're often involved in very exciting things. And I feel like I'm connected to someone here who maybe has a tougher time with the mundane day-to-day kind of energy. And there's a transformation happening where things aren't going to feel so boring or so routine or so arduous, okay? It feels like there's a lightening up and even an enjoyment in the day-to-day outside of those big moments of self-expression and reward and prizes and experiences. Okay, interesting energy, Leo. I also feel like this transformation in you is going to pass down into other people too. You're going to affect other people with the way that you change and shift. Okay, so let's see what energy is supporting you. Blessed day. Yeah, it's about the day-to-day. It's about seeing the everyday or, the boring parts of the day as blessed experiences or finding a way to infuse them with something meaningful. I just want to say it again, like some of you really need to move away from the thought police, whether you can see what they're doing or not. It doesn't really matter. Maybe you're aware that something is propaganda and you feel like it's not getting to you because you know it's propaganda or you know it's not true or you know it's, hyperbolic, but you're still attuning to it, which does shift your frequency. So there's something about making your day-to-day more sacred that's supporting you. So let's see what is challenging you. And this Christmas tree reminds me of consumerism around Christmas, right? So it's something about consuming and consumption. What are your animals listening to? Okay, let's see. The challenge for Leo. Resilience. I heard something like real messages. You may realize that something's not real. There's been fake messages. Now, it could be about a particular relationship too that you're thinking about. Okay, somebody constantly saying something to you over and over again, trying to convince you of a certain way of thinking. The challenge is to know how resilient you are and to use your resilience to resist something here and to let it go, ultimately. Can I get one more for the challenge? Resilience and what? Willpower. Wow, okay, so that's clear. Yeah, you're going to have to use your willpower here, which is a challenge. It's hard, especially when there's some kind of addiction or obsession or just a pattern of behavior that we've fallen into, right? We have to figure out why we're just so drawn to something, even though it's not really doing any favors for us. Why? What is it giving to us that we're missing? And how can we find that feeling that it's giving to us in something else? Reclaim the mundane, mindfulness, right? You need that pause to hear your own thoughts. What are you thinking? Never mind what everybody else is thinking and wanting. Okay, so let's get into the tarot for you, Leo, and see what else Spirit wants to say. See that silence? Feels so nice. For Leo Spirit. There's something that you've put a lot of effort towards. You've worked on very hard. I'm going to clarify this, but it's showing up in the challenge, the Eight of Pentacles, and it's immediately standing out to me out of all the cards. And this fox here is something that you're painting, and it's showing up in your challenge as resilience. See, it's like your higher self is trying to bring your resilience into being. You know you have it, but there's something about using it and bringing it to life that's important. But there's something that's been continuous, ongoing. Maybe you're being drained at work in some way, or work feels unfulfilling to you. Okay, let's go through them and see. The Chariot for your overall energy. I heard wizard. I don't know. Maybe that's how you identify. But this feels like somebody who is very determined, who's going places and knows it. And you do know you're going places because you've been many places, right? You've done a lot of things. You've met a lot of people. And Spirit is guiding you to continue on blossoming, becoming, having those new experiences. And I love this Chariot because there is this feeling of like fertility here and growth. So you are ready to move forward and experience something new. So let's see. Tell me more about this Chariot energy for Leo. Queen of Pentacles. Confidence, security. Now is a good time in your life to do this. Wherever you've been wanting to go to, literally or figuratively, or have some kind of adventure of some sort, or push past some difficult energy and really like break some kind of habit that's been holding you back, now's a really good time to do it because you are very grounded. And I do get that feeling with you. There is constant like noise though that I'm picking up. Even with this Eight of Wands, it's like constant. And I feel like there's something inside of you that's saying, I need to spend my time in a different way. I need to be influenced by better things. It's like you want to go somewhere to reconnect with yourself, and you should. Okay, so let me get one more on this, actually. What is she saying to me, Spirit? Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Swords, and the Chariot. With all of this noise, Whatever this is, whether this is in a relationship, at work, or maybe it is thought forms out there, shadow entities trying to get you to obsess about something, whatever it is, it's getting you to forget what really matters to you. And what really matters, period. And as soon as you have some silence and pause and hibernation in that beautiful big space around yourself, a boundary, some protective energy here, everything becomes clear about the direction you want to take, who you are, what you're working with, what you have, your purpose even. A feeling of purpose comes back. The world seems bigger again. Like it feels like there's possibilities. When you're young and you feel like the life is all in front of you, the possibilities are endless. And then as you get older, you're like, I guess this is my life, And it doesn't feel like anything and everything is possible, but that's not true. It still is. We just get into our patterns. And the conditioning that we've been subject to has gone on longer. And it feels like Spirit is saying you're breaking a pattern here, and you're going to realize that life is full of opportunities. It's really a transformation in the way you're looking at the world and yourself. 7 of Cups for what you don't see coming. Well, this has 2 sides to it. One is confusion and illusion, that noise, too many voices, just scattering your energy. And the other side of this is limitless possibility. So you can take, like the 7 of Cups is one energy with 2 different possibilities. So you can take, if you feel confused or you feel like you're dealing with a world of illusions and you're in that energy, then you can transmute and transform that energy into the light aspect of seeing the world full of possibilities. Does that make sense? To see a cursed day as a blessed day. It all depends on where you focus your attention and your perspective. Your mind is super powerful. So I feel like what you don't see coming is your own ability to change the way that you're experiencing a particular energy. The Hermit, your own perspective changes. If something is bringing you mass confusion, or it's like endless questioning and there's no answer, no solution, try to take a step back into a quiet place and listen to what your own self is telling you, what your higher self is telling you. Because there's real wisdom there. Wheel of Fortune for your opportunity. Yes, the change, right? The transformation, the becoming, new experiences, blossoming, letting go of the past. This is that right here is your opportunity. Let's see. Tell me more about this. 3 of Swords and 3 of Pentacles. Healing. 3. We had 3, right? I said that before. The number 3. 3 waves. Yeah. Let me see here what's going on in this picture. Well, there's 3 people and they're each doing something different in order to create something. But it doesn't really look like they're working together. And I don't know what it is that they're trying to make here, but it looks kind of upside down. It doesn't look like it's working. She's over here thinking about how something could come together, not really paying attention to what she's doing. She's climbing a ladder to I don't know where. This person's it's like all kind of, we're trying to work together, but it's not really working. We all have our own ideas. And this is creating some anguish, some mental anguish, some pain possibly. So this could be in a friendship context, in a work context, in a relationship context, or just in a larger group of people where you're supposed to be working together towards a common goal, but it's not actually happening that way. there's too much confusion with the Seven of Cups. And Spirit is saying your opportunity is you can change that energy. So hold on, before I move on, how can Leo change this energy? The Lovers, and it came out in, like it flew out and then it landed in reverse. You can change this energy by making a huge decision, a big decision. I'm hearing the decision to trust what you see, trust what you know, instead of continuing to question. Some of you need to break a contract, okay, or separate from a group of people or a particular person who is just, you don't work, okay? You don't work together. You don't have the same vision. Anything else here? Two of Wands. Yeah, you're at a little bit of a crossroads with this because this is probably what you've invested a lot of time and energy into. Okay, let's keep going and see what else comes through. So the Eight of Pentacles for the challenge, the resilience with the fox painting. Death, wow. Okay. So something definitely needs to transform by coming to an end. Something needs to be let go of. A lost memory comes back, you make the connection, and you're able to release a feeling, a tension, a thought form that's been holding you back or maybe keeping you stuck in situations with people who aren't working together. Is it possible that the memory from the past has something to do with you being given the responsibility to make sure things work? That would make sense here. So if that resonates, then there's a time where people weren't getting along, maybe you and someone else, or maybe parental figures, or anything really, but I feel like you were quite young. I'm hearing impressionable, as we all are when we're young. And it was placed on you to find a solution or to not give up on something. You were the caretaker in some ways and rewarded for it, but that created a feeling in you that you can't walk away when it's not working. But you can. You're allowed to do that. Full permission to do that. Okay? So, your advice is the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles in this deck is actually very positive. It's about cherishing something that means a lot to you, even if doesn't mean a lot to others. Okay? It's Four Pentacles. You've worked hard for these Four Pentacles. I'm hearing 4 pillars of strength. I don't know what that's about. And holding tightly to them despite what other people say. Maybe these are 4 beliefs you have, your morals and your ethics, and you're not going to betray them. I don't know. What is this? 4 of Pentacles. Holding on. Three of Cups. I like this. This is you recognizing that, well, things don't work somewhere, definitely, with someone else or a group of people. It doesn't mean it always has to be that way. You are holding on to faith and hope that there are others out there, soul family, other work environments, other deals, other whatever. There's other energies who are compatible with you, who will support you, who will see your vision and you'll see theirs. It will be mutual. So the advice is not to give up on that. Just because it ain't working somewhere, and it's not. 3 of Swords with the 3 of Pentacles, it's not working there. Doesn't mean it can't work somewhere else with others. Some of you are going to go back to doing something that you used to love to do, maybe in your day-to-day, or maybe this is something bigger, but you're reclaiming it. I want to go back to that. I want to experience that again. I want to paint again. I want to do whatever again. I want to spend my days going for a walk. Whatever it is, right? You're going to go back and reclaim something that used to bring you a lot of happiness. So don't give up on the prospect of connecting with others who do understand you. Because it must be in the future for you if that's your advice. Yes, strength. There's your card, Leo. It is in your future. You just have to stay strong, willpower, and resilience, right? You're going to have to let some things go in order to get new things. That's just the way it is. Five of Cups, even though it sucks sometimes. Sometimes we don't realize how necessary it is to let go of some people or some things until we get something much better. And then we're like, oh, I should have done that before. So the outcome, I'm going to do an extended reading too. In the extended, I'm going to go a layer deeper into this message. We're going to see what comes through. It tends to get more specific because there's less of you there. But if you don't like that idea or you can't come for whatever reason, then just trust that Spirit knew that and gave you everything you needed right here. I'm hearing the name Brenda. I don't know, random. If it doesn't mean anything to you, don't worry. The outcome in the next little while, we have the Seven of Swords. So let's see what this Seven of Swords is all about. This is a card of cunning, behavior and planning, strategizing, deception, trickery. So why is this in the outcome for Leo? Why is this in the outcome, Spirit? Four of Wands and Temperance. Well, there's something you've been believing or attuning yourself to, even if you don't believe it. There's something that's been in your field that isn't sitting quite right with you. It's this obsession, bad influence energy. And I feel like it's showing up in your outcome because now there's a conscious awareness of it. Not only are you consciously aware that this is influencing you negatively, but you're also aware that you can do something about it, that you can heal something around it. It's been creating a sense of instability and a feeling of like you don't know where you belong or you don't know where home is exactly. Temperance is a card of healing, and the Four of Wands is celebration and stability. Prosperity even. And this is long-term healing where the cards that came out for you. That's amazing. I love that. And so it's definitely here, but there needs to be an acknowledge of some kind of deception, whether that's self-deception or other people deceiving you. Because once you're able to really look at this and acknowledge it, these, thoughts that are trying to clamp down on your autonomy, once you realize all that, you find your inner truth and you heal something very significant for you. Okay? I do want to ask, can you tell me more about what this Seven of Swords actually looks like here? Overcome fear. So it's some lie that you need to be fearful of something. There's some energy in your field, in your ear, telling you, Leo, be afraid. Okay? Or you're powerless. And this might be a very quiet voice. It might be in that subconscious realm. But you're becoming aware of it. So the lie is that you should be scared. All right, Leo, I love you so much. I'll see you next time.